Thank you for tuning in to Channel 15, and this is the Education Station. Today, I'll be having a conversation about a new form of calculation with Professor Stefanowski.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Now, Professor Stefanowski, what are you exactly a professor of again?
Advanced Calcumania.
And that's a very odd term, and can you explain to our audience what exactly that is?
Sure. Advanced Calcumania is the most complex form of mathematics. It is so complex, in fact, that only I and one other person in the world understand it. Now, the first and only law of Advanced Calcumania is any form of contradiction will cause time travel.
Okay, now what exactly do you base that statement on?
I can prove it true for you. Now, contradictions are happening all over the world. They're happening every hour, every minute, every second, every nanosecond, man. So, as a result of these contradictions, we're slowly slipping into the future, are we not?
Okay, so let me get this right. You're saying that time slowly slipping on into the future, as it does on a day-to-day basis, is time travel in itself?
Well, see, time is a frozen thing. This is what I'm getting at. And it's these contradictions I speak of that help us move forward in time, using Advanced Calcumania, of course.
So many people would argue, like I would, that time slowly slipping into the future isn't exactly the time travel that we're interested in. But how do you relate this Advanced Calcumania theory to time traveling backwards, which could be more useful for us?
Back in time. That's a whole different thing altogether. Now, I got a question for you that I think you might know the answer to. Okay. What happens when two black holes are sucked into each other?
I've heard this theory before, but there's no possible way you can test something that goes on in space down here on Earth.
Well, I can. Now, check it out. You get a photocopier, and you place it face down on top of another photocopier so that both copy screens are pointed right at each other. Now, when you push copy on both those machines at the same time, what happens? Time travel. You flush a toilet down another toilet, time travel.
And you've actually tested this theory?
Sir, the nerve you have calling my brilliant science a mere theory. This is Advanced Calcumania we're talking about here, and you better thank God for Advanced Calcumania, because without it, how else would Abraham Lincoln have been able to escape his own assassination, go forward in time, and chase Hitler through time and space?
Abraham Lincoln. I can't even begin to answer such a ridiculous question. I mean, there's no plausible way you could prove that.
I already proved the first law true, so I really can't see how anyone can continue doubting these laws of Advanced Calcumania.
Laws. You told me there was only one law to Advanced Calcumania, and now there's laws? You just contradicted yourself.
And as a result, we're slowly slipping into the future.
But there's no possible way you could tell me that just because two events happen at the same time, that they're the cause of each other. I mean, people are born all over the world every day, and people die all over the world every day. But you can't tell me that someone is born just because someone dies.
Why not?
Because it's fallacy.
All right, what if I were to tell you that every time someone dies in the world, someone else is being born?
For the first time tonight, I think I'd agree with you, Professor. But still, that doesn't prove that just because two things happen at the same time, they happen as a result of each other.
Good point. Good point. Man's got a point there. We're getting way off track.
We're not getting off track. You just want to stop because you won't admit to the flaws in your own logic and your theories.
We're talking about Advanced Calcumania. You know.
Now we're getting off track again. What just happened?
My God. I don't know how, but it happened.
What happened?
Whole seconds just went by without a single contradiction happening anywhere in the world.
That's ridiculous. You can't tell me that's because of...
Don't you get it, man? Stop questioning these things. It is you and your cursed logic. With so much emphasis on logic, there'll be fewer and fewer contradictions. You know what will happen then? We will freeze ourselves permanently in time.
Okay, well then answer me this. In time, being frozen, how do these so-called contradictions, you say, happen in order to get us jump-started to moving again from us being frozen in time?
Glad you asked. Now that can be answered through the equation of Advanced Calcumania.
There's an equation now?
Of course, it's Advanced Calcumania. Of course that's an equation.
All right, what's the equation?
Okay, it's 7 to the 15th power over 8 minus x divided by y.1155 equals 42 over unit 9.
And what exactly is unit 9?
The denominator.
No. What does it represent?
Quick, Professor. We haven't much time. Hitler's already entered the time warp.
But Lincoln, how did you...
Use the staplers.
brilliant. I never thought of using something so portable. Oh, that Lincoln.
That's it. I quit. I thought I knew math. But then, I met Lincoln. But then, I met Lincoln.